these images, like these styles together. Like that's going to be successful for him, you hope.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
It's Jacksonville though, man. I gotta wait and see.
You don't trust it.
You don't trust
It's
it?
still early though.
And then Zach Wilson, of course, was taking 2. Again, that just became we knew that was coming too. Like that's just another afterthought.
I kind of knew
that's
that
a
was
huge
coming.
deal.
Yeah, but but 3 in Jones
Yeah.
essentially becomes the story of the draft because those other 2 guys been projected there for several months, right? And so it was just when it happened, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
They drafted Trey Lance. Okay, Wilson's gone. Now what's going to happen at 3?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my goodness. They just took Trey Lance. Really? Yes, they took him. Okay, what's going to happen here at 4? Oh, they took Kyle Pitts. Well, we thought they might do that if they don't trade out. Oh, what's 5? Oh, okay, well, we thought that might happen with Chase. And then things started.
Yep.
And as these teams started coming, you're like, ooh, he's still sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All I know
the green
is,
room is getting mighty empty. And then all of a sudden, as you start to get closer to New England, you're like, well, New England, that makes a little bit of sense. Okay, New England's going to do it.
Certainly having Cam Newton, it buys time for Mac Jones, at least a little bit. And as Bill Belichick said, that Cam Newton's their starter, made that clear, and that Mac Jones and Jarrett Stidham, he'd mentioned as well, will compete for the job. The 2021 NFL Draft on ESPN Radio, presented by Sherwin-Williams. Second, third round coverage begins tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern on most ESPN radio stations. So there were many, many headlines, many things to get to. The Aaron Rodgers thing we haven't even touched on yet, and that was a huge story.
Trey Lance, number 3 overall.
Said by Keyshawn. And the Bears, of course, as Jay mentioned very excitedly, they made a bold move to get their quarterback, maybe their QB1, at least of the future. But will this one finally break that long trend in Chicago? That is all coming up next. 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776, of course. Jay, you got to be feeling good about this because we were killing Ryan Pace yesterday, killing him yesterday. And as the draft, you said, like, you watch the draft and you're seeing, you were just saying it, like, guys start to slide down. And as things happened after the second pick, now it became okay, who's going to do what? And then you started noticing who's falling down the board. And the more Justin Fields started to slide, the more it became, come on, Bears. Like, here's your way to salvage this offseason that you've been criticized for. Just make that move.
We'll
and they did. Right? You got to give credit again. Ryan Pace and the Giants make a deal.
I wouldn't say Ryan Pace. I would say Matt Nagy.
I feel like that was Matt Nagy's
Nagy kind of said,
yeah,
Matt Nagy.
Get this guy. Okay, well, whatever it was, the Bears get it done. And also, by the way, let's not also discount the fact that Dave Gettleman makes a trade back.
First time.
Which he's never done before, and literally only just talked about it weeks ago. So they give up their 20. They flip the 20, then they give up a future pick, including a first rounder next year, a fourth rounder as well next year. So keep that in mind. The Giants adding a first round pick here, but more importantly, the Bears getting.
I'm trying to save my damn job. I'm gonna go all in and give you what you want. Khalil Mack too? I might have to give you that.
Yikes.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Well, you're trying to be competitive still.
Whatever I need to do to save my job, I got to do it. I might not even be here next year to even worry about that.
Well, that's why this is significant. Pace, remember, said this is such a good quarterback room. We have coaches. We could get a young quarterback. We think this would be a great place for it, and they do. And again, as we mentioned, they were on the hottest seat of any front office, right, would you say?
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, maybe he bought himself some insurance now by getting this quarterback. He talked about how the entire organization, of course, now is ecstatic about getting Justin Fields.
We feel really fortunate to be able to get Justin, in the area of the draft. We were able to select him. The excitement throughout our whole building, you can feel it as I walk down here tonight, what he's going to do for the future of our organization. There's so much, guys, that goes into this process, as you well know, but starting with Matt and our scouts and our coaches as we build into this moment and into tonight. But I think, when we select a quarterback, the situation that quarterback is coming into is critical. And I think we provide a great situation for that quarterback's development to happen.
Let's call this Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. So the move happens, Jay. I mean, obviously you love the Bears, so.
I love the Bears and the Giants. It worked out beautiful for me. I think that's a win on both sides. I mean, let's remind people that Matt Miller has been on our show multiple times and said that he's had Justin Fields rated the second best quarterback in this draft. He said that before. And I said when we got to 9, and I saw that Denver was going to take a corner, Patrick Surtain, right? I was like, oh, okay, like they're not going to draft a QB.
Yeah.
Interesting. What do they have something that I don't know about Aaron Rodgers maybe in Denver? You're hearing rumors about that, considering what was happening last night. I tweeted, I was like, Chicago needs to trade up right now and get Justin Fields. I did not know what was going to happen with my Giants, but the fact that they made that move, I do think, Alan, I agree with you. For as much as I thought that Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace were going to be out, regardless of what happened this year, them getting Justin Fields, I think a fan favorite in Chicago. I saw so many Chicago Bear fans last night on social media screaming, yelling, applauding them for making this pick. It finally felt like they're moving in a direction that you want this team to do. And Andy Dalton, great, serviceable, fine. But this kid, I feel like, will be the rookie of the year next year. I feel like he is that talented.
So he's going to play right away, in your opinion.
I think he is going to play.
He's QB1.
I think he's going to have to play.
And Key, this doesn't happen if the Cowboys and Eagles don't do what they did, right, at 10, because the Giants were probably targeting, right, Devontae Smith, would you say? They were looking for the wide receiver. When that's not there, it's like, all right, let's get out. And the Bears will take it and jump in. Who knows if that doesn't happen, if let's say Surtain does fall to the Cowboys and they didn't make that pick, maybe the Giants don't make this deal. So things had to happen to set this up just right for the Bears to get their future quarterback.
And as they're tracking the boards of the different teams and what personnel teams need and where they're moving around, there was an opportunity for the Bears to trade out with the Giants, and the Giants could still get their guy in the 20s, which they did, because they probably were targeting a skill position player the entire time. They probably targeted a defensive player that was on the board that got away from them as well. And so when you start to think about it, the Giants did what they were supposed to do, which was back out, still get their guy. Chicago was smart enough to recognize they have some quarterback issues that they now have to try to resolve. I don't think Nick Foles is going to start the season with them. They'll probably move him somewhere for a 7th-round pick or something.
A team that needs a backup.
Would
the Jets be a good fit there, would you think? I mean, they have Zach Wilson. They don't really have a veteran backup now. Would that be a fit? Joe Douglas, some history there maybe?
Yeah, I guess it would be a fit.
Right?
Yeah, because it was with him at the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course that would be a good backup fit for him. So when you look at it, Chicago certainly did their job, but I don't know if Justin Fields is going to get on the field immediately because you got Andy Dalton there, and Andy Dalton's going to play for you to, how many games? Let's say Andy Dalton gets into that situation where, he's going to a handful of games that he's going to play, and if it's going great, then you continue to go with him, and if it starts to go left, now you insert the young guy in the lineup to get the team a spark, but also give him some playing experience for the next head coach.
Just look at the future of the NFC North, right? You don't have the beautiful mystery. Aaron Rodgers, probably not going to be there anymore.
That's a good point.
Kirk Cousins, right? The Vikings, like Jared Goff, the Lions. That's a huge opportunity, and that door is open. That door is open
by
for
this
Chicago.
move. Isn't it amazing how you go from where you feel like you guys are on your way out to you might have just bought yourself all the time you needed now, especially in that division. That's Straight Talk.
That was the only move
Wireless.
for them to do.
No contract, no compromise. Let's grab a call or two if we have a minute here. 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. I find this one interesting. Mark is in Fort Myers. Mark.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for taking my call. As I told the gentleman who answered the phone, to me, and this is my opinion, Jerry Jones will never win, and he showed why. He made that move last night. He did not want the Giants getting Devontae Smith. The Eagles in the same division are miles behind, I believe, where the Giants are right now. You add Devontae Smith to the Giants with what they already have with Daniel Jones. Why do you think the Giants then turned around and traded with the Bears?
Exactly.
Because their next pick they knew they could get at a